Well, at Yara, as you know, we like to learn not only in the training room, but from experience, which is why we're out here in the woods today. Now, you could say that the woods in winter time is quite a fitting metaphor for the economic climate that we find ourselves in at the moment. Just, you don't need to look too far to see that things are either dead or dying, or so it seems. Because it brings to mind something a friend of mine said many years ago. He was in the army and he said, if you come across a scene like this and you think everything's dead, there's nothing there, then you really are on a sticky wicket. If, on the other hand, you see a scene like this and think, actually here somewhere is food and shelter, then you have a mindset to survive in that relatively unpromising environment. And that's what we're looking at today, is metaphors in nature for surviving an inhospitable climate and an unpromising environment. So, 3 points that I'd like to make. The first is this. Yes, a lot of trees like this beech tree that I'm standing under are losing their leaves. There's a lot of dead debris on the ground here. However, you don't need to look too far afield to see that there is greenery around. There is a laurel bush just over there. There's a few ferns remaining on the ground here. There's some ivy on the trees over there. Where are the evergreen bits in your marketplace? There must be some somewhere. Areas where there still seems to be, if not growth, there is still greenery there, whatever the climate. Here's the thing. When everything was lush and green and growing, you might not have noticed those things there. Now that everything has died back, they become a little bit more obvious. Where are they? Look carefully for them, because there might well be things there that you might otherwise have missed. The second thing is, and okay, we are a little bit late for that at this point because it's mid-November now, but even up to a couple of weeks ago we could have come to these woods and looked about the base of the trees, maybe brushed aside some leaves and come across some edible mushrooms. Yes, we would have come across poisonous toadstools as well, but the edible mushrooms would have been there. There's the thing. It's not the climate really for anything to be growing and flourishing, and yet there are strange things lurking in strange places that we can actually make use of. Is that happening in your business environment? Are there things that are seeming to grow up because of the economic climate, not in spite of it? Look carefully, again, there might be something there. The third point is obviously to think about what the animals are doing at this time of the year. Some of them are hibernating. Now, it might be as well to sit tight and just wait to see what the weather does and see if you'll survive. However, you have to be jolly sure that you've stuffed your face during the productive season when there's been a lot of growth in order to have enough ballast, enough weight to survive the winter season. So hibernate at your peril if you haven't been able to do that. A lot of birds are flying south for the winter. Are there sunnier climes elsewhere? Are there overseas markets, in the BRIC economies perhaps, where potentially there might be opportunities for you whilst everything is coming to a bit of a standstill here? Alternatively, taking the opposite view to hibernating, we could be like a squirrel, which is actually the subject of a blog I've written, and the link will be somewhere around this page. Be like a squirrel. Squirrels are relentless in their pursuit of food. We've all seen those Mission Impossible type clips of how they will stop at nothing to get to the source of the best nutrients. They don't give up. They keep moving. They don't sit there thinking, where's all the food gone? They go out and look for it. So that's it. It's getting a bit cold out here, so we are going to venture inside now. But there's the thing. We are all facing the same economic climate. Perhaps the key question is, with what mindset are you facing it?